A bright point of light emerges from the heart of endless darkness, with an unbelievable speed, right from the depths of the galaxy. Not an ordinary comet from our own solar system, but an uninvited guest from somewhere very far away. Something that challenges the laws and has caused scientists to keep their eyes on the sky at night.
This is the story of 3I Atlas, the third confirmed interstellar object in history, which was observed this summer. From that very moment, the story began like a science fiction novel. A body that has come from outside the solar system with a hyperbolic orbit that shows it is just a passerby. It comes, orbits the sun, and departs from us forever. But the big question is, what has made this cosmic guest so different? What is in its behavior that has astonished everyone? Stay with Astraeon. Everything started from that same strange bright point. At first glance, scientists thought they were dealing with an ordinary asteroid, but when they calculated its orbit, everyone was shocked. Its entry speed was between 58 to 61 kilometers per second, and when it approached the sun, due to gravitational acceleration, it reached about 68 kilometers per second, a speed that could only come from a very distant source in the galaxy. Probably from the heart of an ancient molecular cloud, or perhaps from an old stellar system that disintegrated billions of years ago. Its core is a combination of rock and ice, with a size of about 5.6 kilometers, and based on estimated density, its mass might be between 10 to the power of 13 to 10 to the power of 16 kilograms. That is something close to 33 billion tons. A cold and silent giant that majestically passes through our solar system. Initial observations by the James Webb Space Telescope on August 6, 2025, revealed a strange chemical composition. The gas cloud around it, or the coma, is mainly composed of carbon dioxide, CO2, with a CO2 to H2O ratio of about 7.6, a number much higher than typical comets. Alongside that, water vapor, CO, and OCS have also been identified. But what is stranger is the absence of carbon chains like C2 and C3, a sign that this object comes from an environment completely different from the comets in our solar system. There is also a more interesting point. Signs of nickel without iron have been observed in the data, an unusual combination that, if confirmed, might be like Comet Borisov, a remnant of one of the distant dead stars, carrying the story of the chemistry of stars that shone and extinguished long before our sun. And now, the sun's heat has awakened those dormant materials to perform a display of the galaxy's secrets before our eyes for a short time. And now we reach the part where the story truly becomes exciting. The strange behaviors that have even confused the scientists themselves. The icy activity of 3I/ATLAS started much earlier than expected, from a distance beyond Jupiter's orbit. This means its surface is unusually active, perhaps due to the presence of amorphous ices, which begin to sublimate even with minimal heat. But stranger than that is its dust tail. Sometimes its direction is seen toward the sun instead of backward, a behavior that could result from unusual rotation or gas eruptions from specific angles. Measurements have shown that this object experiences non-gravitational acceleration, something that usually occurs due to asymmetric gas eruptions or solar radiation pressure, but in the case of Atlas, it has not been fully explained yet. Its light also has its own story. Its brightness is not regular, and it seems to rotate about every 16 hours, like a cosmic flashing light that constantly changes. Even the polarization of its light is unusual. At small angles, it has strong negative polarization, which probably stems from a strange combination of bright ices and dark particles on its surface. These phenomena are like pieces of a puzzle. As newer data arrive, the picture does not become clearer, but more complex. Scientists have proposed several different hypotheses to explain these behaviors, each with a different perspective. 1. Asymmetric rocket effect. Imagine the eruptions of CO2 and OH gases from Atlas' surface occurring in different directions. This could explain the non-gravitational acceleration. Evidence like increased brightness supports it, but the magnitude of these accelerations is not yet sufficient for a complete explanation. 2. Porous multi-fragment core. Perhaps Atlas's core is like a mass of rocks and ices stuck together that breaks layer by layer. This model could explain sudden optical fluctuations, but more precise data are needed to prove it. 3. Influence of magnetic field on fractal particles. If the dust particles around Atlas have complex structures like snowflakes, the sun's magnetic field could cause unusual rotation and polarization of light. This theory aligns with the irregular structure of particles, but the weak strength of the solar magnetic field makes its explanation difficult. But in the midst of this scientific excitement, there was an event that really shook everyone up. That famous viral video that was released in July 2025. It claimed to be leaked from a Japanese observatory and showed a rotating object with a metallic surface that reflected light. It garnered millions of views. Everyone thought it might be a spaceship, but when examined more closely, the truth was completely different. Reverse image search revealed that its origin was related to a single-celled organism called paramecium, which was filmed under a microscope years ago by an educational channel. Then, with a few color filters and frame cuts, and some changes in light and texture, it was edited in such a way that it seemed to be moving in dark, starry space. Even the file's metadata gave everything away. Its recording date is old, the sizes are on a microscopic scale, not cosmic. That clip created a lot of excitement, but at the same time taught an important lesson. In a world where anything can be viewed millions of times in a few hours, truth is only found through investigation and precision, not quick and emotional beliefs. But the latest observations in mid-November 2025 have added yet another layer of mystery to the story. The Meerkat radio telescope in South Africa has, for the first time, detected clear radio signals coming from 3 I/Atlas, not evidence of alien technology, but the natural result of water molecules breaking apart and releasing OH radicals within its coma. These data help scientists understand how the comet's gases evolve as they interact with the sun's radiation. At the same time, new images from ground-based telescopes reveal that Atlas now displays several narrow, interwoven tails, filament-like gas jets stretching for millions of kilometers, forming a structure unlike any comet ever seen before. Even more exciting, Atlas has become visible through small amateur telescopes, glowing with a shifting green-white light in the northern sky. It seems that the closer this visitor gets to leaving our solar neighborhood, the more secrets it reveals, as if it refuses to fade away quietly. After 3I Atlas passed its solar perihelion on October 29, 2025, that is, when it was about 1.36 astronomical units from the Sun, something strange happened. Its brightness increased 5-fold, but without a clear tail being visible, a behavior that has greatly puzzled scientists. New images taken on November 5, 2025, by the Lowell Discovery and Virtual Telescope show that the object is now glowing green, while still having no tail, something that does not align with expectations. Even Avi Loeb has suggested that perhaps this glow is a sign of some kind of engine, but he himself says this is just a controversial hypothesis. On the other side, radio observations like Meerkat have only recorded natural emissions of OH molecules and found no unusual signals. The closest distance of this object to Earth was also in December 2025, about 1.8 astronomical units, completely harmless. At the same time, the global IAWN campaign, that is the Asteroid Warning Network, with hundreds of telescopes around the world, is still tracking this object, and its data are publicly published on sites like The Sky Live. The reality is that the story of 3I Atlas is not just the story of a cosmic object. It is a living reminder that shows how full of mysteries and unknowns the universe is, and we only see a small corner of it. Comparing it to Oumuamua, which had no tail but showed unexpected acceleration, or to Borisov, which behaved like an ordinary comet, proves that interstellar objects are more than we thought. 3I/Atlas might just be a passerby from among the stars, or perhaps a sign of something beyond our imagination. What do you think?